Welcome everyone to the fourth day of the MIT AI Conference, The Future of Learning. I'd like to introduce Teddy Lee, the MIT AI Conference Chair.
Thank you, Lekia. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 4 of the MIT AI Conference. I hope everyone's enjoying the conference so far. And on behalf of the conference planning team, I want to say again, thank you very much for being here. Yesterday's sessions gave us a glimpse into the future of health. Anne Wojcicki told us about how she's empowering consumers and giving them visibility into their own health data. Professor Andrew Lo told us about how data science and financial engineering can help to cure cancer. Professor Dina Katabi told us how we may one day transition from wearables to invisibles. Zeenat Patrawala told us about how image biomarkers are becoming an increasingly important sector. Shannon Dahl and Melita Sun-Jung spoke on the future of cell and gene therapies. And Chris Gibson of Recursion and Ann Carpenter from the Broad Institute told us about the future of drug discovery. Grace Cologne also told us about the great work that they're doing in therapeutics. Today, we move on to the future of learning. This is a subject that I know is near and dear to the hearts of many of the folks in our audience. As people who have generally been beneficiaries of great educations and value learning, I know that we're all very excited to learn about how learning is going to be changed in the future. We have a very exciting lineup of speakers today that span all different segments of learning. We'll kick off at 8 a.m. with Professor Surya Ganguly from Stanford University. He's going to talk us about how learning happens with humans and machines, from optimizing our biology to colluding with AIs. From there, we'll transition to Kareem Lakhani of Harvard Business School, who will talk about competing in the age of AI. The next session is one that I'm personally very excited about. We'll be joined by Dean Dan Huttenlocher of the new MIT Schwarzman College of Computing. At 9:30, we'll be joined by Gabe Del Porto, who is the CEO of Udacity. At 10 a.m., Richard Socher, formerly of Salesforce, talking about how AI will help us create the world that we want to see. And at 10:30, we'll be joined by Scott Rosenberg and Willard Simmons of Roku. We're going to talk about the future of streaming media. At 11 a.m., Karen Howe from the MIT Technology Review will join us to talk about why AI needs journalism. And finally, at 11:30, Sam Udotong, co-founder and CTO of Fireflies.ai, will tell us about how AI is being used to revolutionize enterprise work. Now onto a few other items that I wanted to mention. So I mentioned before, we are trying to raise money for some MIT COVID-19 funds. We're currently $33,000 towards our goal of $50,000. So if everyone who's going to be watching today would donate even just $20, we can hit our goal. Hopefully people can donate more than that. As I mentioned previously, these funds will go towards 2 different funds to help equip frontline workers and also going towards research to combat COVID-19. I posted a link to this in our Slack channel, in the main lobby channel, so please feel free to click there and make a donation. I also wanted to mention that as announced yesterday at AI Idol, we have a new MIT alumni startup group, and I posted links to those as well. You can sign up either as a founder or as an ally to help support these burgeoning initiatives to build out the MIT alumni startup community. And finally, I wanted to mention that we do have a VIP networking session tonight. We had one yesterday and was very successful. Had a lot of speakers and attendees in attendance, and people generally had a great time. We even had some surprise beatboxing from a CEO. If you want to find out who that CEO is, you can tune in to the AI Awards, which are taking place today at noon. The AI Awards will recognize some of the leading thinkers and doers in the AI space. So please be sure to tune in for that session and hear from the likes of Professor Sandy Pentland, as well as a bunch of other recipients for the awards. With that, I'll hand it over to Shuja Keen to say a few words.
Thank you, Teddy. And on behalf of the MIT Alumni Association and the MIT Club of Northern California, I'd like to welcome you to the fourth day of our first annual virtual MIT AI conference. But before we go on, I think, I would want to recognize Teddy, Kevin, Andrew, Serena, Tahir, Caitlin. I mean, this list goes on, but this event would not have been possible without the dedication, the hard work, the passion of these volunteers over the course of the last 8 months. And the feedback we've received over the last 3 days now has been overwhelmingly positive. So thank you so much for your dedication and hard work, Teddy. And without further ado, I'd hand it back to Teddy to get the conference started.
Thank you, Shuja. Thank you very much for the kind words. I'll put a plug in as well. So Shuja and I are both members of the MIT Club of Northern California. Please join that organization if you're here in the Bay Area, and please join your respective MIT alumni communities wherever you are. It's been a very rewarding experience to be a part of this organization, which hosts a ton of amazing events every month. So please consider joining your respective clubs and giving back and building the alumni community in that way. Without further ado, I'm going to hand it back to Alekia and kick off day 4, the future of learning. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy.
Thank you, Teddy. Thank you, Shuja. I'm looking forward to our next session, and we'll see you at 8 a.m.